Hello, hello, test, audio test, hello. So, this is Claudio, and I'm trying to uh, record a video daily. Wow, and this will help me to improve my programming skills um, and also my English skills because the English is not my language. I'm learning it and I'm trying to practice. So this is a good chance to um, I don't know how to say this in English, but when you achieve two objectives um, in just doing one task, I hope you
Si quieres escuchar la música
know
perfecta
what
para
I
tu
mean. So
con la nueva extensión.
it also means that I'll be like speak speaking slowly because um, well, that's how it is. That's how these videos will be, just like a repository where I can um, upload uh, a lot of videos that will help me to remember what I'm studying, and I don't know, just uh, just that. So today I'll build a little program uh, with help of the artificial intelligence, GitHub Copilot. So I'm uh, developing these programs, and now the turn is of the 11th. Um, Something else that I would like to say is that I'm also practicing my typing. So that means that I'm trying to type every single letter the correct way at the correct position of the fingers in the keyboard because of um, or trying to avoid um, unnecessary movements of my fingers. So I'm just typing and learning programming, learning English, and um, now we'll be developing um, a program that will calculate uh, the least common multiple or LCM. So let's check how this will work and how this will be built by ChatGPT. I'm sorry, ChatGPT. I meant GitHub Copilot and typing. So let me check if I can listen a little bit to music. Well, advertisement. Okay, so I'll paste I'll paste here the name of the program or the topic, and first we have to save it, and for that just um, give a name. So the name will be calculation um, LCM recursively. LCM recursively dot py. So there we have our first comment. That is the title of the exercise or problem that I'm doing to learn the foundations or fundamentals of the recursive concept of in programming. So we're building a program with recursively. We're gonna solve um, what do we want to do. So I'll just type what do we want to achieve. It's a good word, achieve, with this program. Mm, so it says that the least common multiple, or LCM, of two two integers is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both numbers. I need to a little bit more of volume to what I'm listening to. So this is like a experience or video that will help you. I mean, entertain you maybe or learn. But it has like S A S uh A S M R um vibes. So the least common multiple LCM of two integers is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both numbers without leaving a reminder. Remainder. I'm not sure about the pronunciation. For example, the LCM, less common multiple, of 4 and 5 is 20. The less common multiple of 4 and 5 is 20. Okay, okay. How can this probe help us understand recursion better? So it says that this program can help us understand recursion better by demonstrating how a problem can be broken down into smaller sub-problems. Specifically by using the relationship between the LCM and the greatest common divisor, or GCD. It also says that the recursive, I'm not sure also about the pronunciation of this word, recursive approach to calculating the GCD can be used as a building block for calculating the LCM. The less common multiple. So this program can help us understand recursion better by demonstrating how a problem can be broken down into smaller subproblems, specifically by using the relationship between the less common multiple and the greatest common divisor, great or GCD. The recursive approach to calculating the GCD can be used as a building block for calculating the less common multiple. Okay, so we start by defining a recursive function to calculate the great common divisor using Euclid's algorithm, and then we use that function to calculate the LCM, or less common multiple. Um, we're gonna call our function GCD, and it will receive two parameters, A and B. So at the beginning of the function, we always have our base case. Let me mute this. Okay. So the base case, um, we have the condition when B is 0. So B equals 0. If it's 0, it'll return A because the GCD of any number and 0 is the number itself. The second part of the function is the recursive case, in which it will return the GCD of B and the remainder of divided by B. So we return the greatest common divisor of B and the remainder of A divided by B. So we are now going to define the LCM, less common division multiple function, using the great common divisor function we just defined. um, we have function LCM that takes two parameters a and b. We call the function LCM, and it'll take a and b as parameters. Mm, so the LCM, or less common divisor, is calculated using the formula LCM function that takes a and b. Which is equal to absolute of a times b, and that divided by the greatest common divisor of a and b. Let's explain this chop chopping it in pieces. Now we are returning the LCM using the formula, which is the absolute value of the product of a and b divided by their greatest common divisor. And we're returning, so the absolute value of the product of a and b divided by their greatest common divisor, a and b. So now the function now the functions are defined. Let's see an example of users. We have one case. We have two numbers, num1 and num2. Num1 equals 12 and num2 equals, so let's say we want to get these values from a user input, so we can use the input function to get the values. Number one will be an integer, and it will have an input. We're gonna ask the user to enter the first number, and also a number two function value. It'll be an integer, and we'll ask for the second number. Um, we call now the L less common divisor, less common multiple function with number 1 and number 2 as arguments, and store the result in the variable result. We call the um, we create the variable result, and then we save there or give the value of mm, the result of the function of less common multiple of number 2 and number 1 and number 2. So there we have the result. Finally, we print the result. Just the print function, format of strings, and say the LCM, or less common multiple, of the value of num1 num1 and num2 is result okay. End of the LCM program. So let's try it out. Hello, is there anybody in there? First number. number, 45. Second number, 5. The less common divisor, multiple, sorry, of 45 and 5 is 45. Another one, 12 and 80. 80, yeah. The less common multiple of 12 and 80 is 240.